Good morning. Good morning. How we doing, folks? Hey, Raj, what's up? Okay. Well, as you can see, we're a little stuck today, right? This is pretty common after you have a very large move like we had yesterday and a change in business. The market takes some time to adapt to that change in business, right? So we've got big gap, big gap, right? Our gap is basically 75.26 to 76.01. That's a big gap, right? That's a big change, right? So now a lot of people think that all gaps fill, and it'd be wonderful if we lived in a black and white world where this kind of stuff is true and it's just easy to trade that way, but it's not. So what are we gonna do? How are we gonna deal with this? Well, the other thing is we're at all-time highs and the contract just rolled over. So if you look to the left, you can see that we've got a little bit of inventory up here, not a lot. Probably most of this stuff got flushed out on the move down, right? It's not very many people would hold a move from 76.61 all the way down to 73. That's a big 300-point mover. So probably most of that inventory got flushed. The level I'm looking at tonight or this morning is 76.32. If you look at our high, right, our high this evening or this Globex session is 76.30 and a quarter. So the high is right there. I'm kind of looking at this as a potential look above and fail of 76.31, which would take us down to 75.11. Okay. Problem is we've got this big gap. So you can see right now that the bid is right here at 76.16. Does everybody see that? So when you come into a market in the morning and you look at, say, a market profile, right? You see there's a gap. The low of the overnight is where the bid is. What does that mean? In simple English, what that means is this area here is where the shorts are trapped. They're trapped all the way up, but this is the latest trade location of the latest time frame of trap shorts. Okay? And that's 76.16. That's the low. So what we do now is when London opens in 10 minutes, we're going to see if that low holds. It'd be good if it breaks and we go and test yesterday's low, right? If there's a ton of buying underneath that low, it'll kind of do a look below and fail, or it'll fail to break, right? I think it's also, is it a poor low? No, it's got a couple of ticks of excess, right? So it's not a poor low, but it's pretty obvious that when C period moved up and took the high of A, that's where everybody's trapped and that's where the bids are, right? Exactly. And exactly at value area low from yesterday, right? So yeah, it's pretty mechanically precise, which means that, the algos are working very well. Tighter range for us this evening or this morning, wherever you are. And I've got balance zone. What did I do? I did 13 and 3/4 to 18 and 3/4. This is that back and forth. So it's choppy. Candles are small. Business is slow, right? Tomorrow's a Fed day, right? So being that tomorrow is a Fed day, let me appeal to let's see if your brains are working. So if tomorrow's a Fed day, what happens today? How does that affect business? There you go. Thanks, Moran. It's a slow day, right? Yeah, people will reduce their size and they'll reduce risk, right? Right. You do not put on risk before an event, right? That's just kind of common sense, right? Now, retail traders will take on risk because they don't care about risk. But smart money will never start putting on risk in front of a Fed day, right? You let the Fed make its decision, right? So what does that mean for us? So when I talk about this stuff, there's a practical aspect to why I'm talking about it. And the reason is there's not much follow through, right? So if you're out there taking trades, right, you realize, oh, geez, there's not a lot of follow through. So I might be sitting under trade for a while, or I'm going to really have to wait and take the trade from a really specific area where I know the business is going to have some follow through. So that means unless I just want to get stopped out a lot, then I'll have to trade less, right? All boring stuff, all stuff you guys don't want to hear. But I got to say it because I'm responsible and I have to say it, right? I know you don't want to hear it. I know you want to go full tilt boogie and blow up your accounts, but hey, someone has to be the voice of reason, right? Yeah. Do you really want to tie up your capital for half an hour to make 2 points? Or are you going to kind of wait until business gets a little bit better? Right? You have the option. You have the option. Right? No one has a gun to your head making you trade, so you can obviously take your time, make some good decisions. If I didn't have you guys right now, I'd be in the gym or I'd be going for a walk, right? Because there's nothing to do here. And people hate being told that because, hey, I'm ready to trade, JJ. Where's my money? That's the problem with the market. Sometimes the market doesn't care whether or not you want to make money. The business just doesn't support it right now, right? Yeah. I don't know, Raj. I turned on the TV yesterday and they had something called pocket billiards. I was like, what the hell is this? It's bad enough you guys watch pool on TV. Now you have this. I don't even know what that was. So, I know, it was funny. You guys have some strange sports over here. People playing darts and pool, and they put it on TV. It's hilarious. Yeah, so there's really nothing going on. Does anybody have questions? I'll keep the session kind of, you know, short today. Does anybody have any stocks they want to look at? Any questions? Otherwise, you're just gonna, yeah, it's just gonna be really slow. Let's see what happens when London opens. Maybe we get some new business coming in. Let's see. No questions? Not up for it yet? How about show us an LBF backtest from us and then go get fit? So a decent look below and fail. There was one here before the zone was established, you know. Yesterday was really choppy, right? If you looked at that early morning that I did the session yesterday, Dave, there was a whole bunch of look below and fails. Remember I drew this zone out? There was one here, 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 there's one here. One, two, three. There's 6 trades right there, right? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there were like 11 trades in that time period here, right? That's what you want. These are the trades you want, right? Because this is what, 75, 87. So you're buying 90 and you're selling. So you're buying 75, 88, sell a little at 90 and rotate up to the top. You've got a nice, beautiful 4 or 5 point rotation. That's what you want to trade. You want to trade this. Even if it's for 2 or 3 points, right? That's all you want to do. The rest of this stuff, everybody wants to trade this move here, right? Everybody wants to trade this because it looks glamorous, right? You want to buy it at 75.93 and sell 76.13, but you don't know when that break's going to happen, right? Buying the backtest, I don't know why you're using that word backtest, Dave, right? Like I showed you guys, let's not complicate it. Sorry, I don't know why you're using that word. What you're doing, look below and fail. So you're buying 87 and a half, 88, sell a little at 89, 90, 91. Real simple, right? When it hits this level, you buy, you put your stop here, right? It's just the look below and fail. That's all. Would you explain how to judge if you're not getting filled? Okay, great. Beautiful question. Let's use this, right? So say we buy 3 contracts here, right? We're long 3 at 87. Let's go 88, okay? Right? So we're long 3. There's going to be a seller here. So a point and a half up, you put a sell order. Then here in the middle of the zone here, you put a sell order, and then you've got one up here. Okay? So you're -1, -1, -1. You're +3 here. This one sells, and this one sells, or gets executed, right? Now, if the top one does not get executed, if it hangs, say your order's at 92, and it stalls at 92 and starts to come down. If you sell it at 91, 91 and a half, you're still making money, right? And what's happening to you is in in America, you're suffering for what they call happy feet. When you get in the trade, you get happy feet, which means you run out of the trade when you see any kind of trouble. That's actually not a bad thing, right? What that is, and that term comes from football, right? That term comes from football. You got the line of scrimmage, the quarterback's here. And when those blitzing linebackers and linemen start coming and he knows he's going to get hit, he bolts, right? That's called happy feet. And that happens in trading. And that's okay. The reason you have happy feet in trading is because you lack experience. But that's okay. That will come. The experience will come. Okay. It as you take more trades, as you take more and more trades, you will start to get experience. It's just like if you're a prize fighter or if you're a boxer. The first time you get in the ring and someone throws a punch at you, you're gonna kind of like lose it a bit, right? Until you get used to getting punched. In retail trading, you're gonna get punched in the face. You have to be able to take a punch. Getting stopped out is taking punches. You know what I mean? Right? It's just a question of experience. The longer you do this, the more frequency of your trades, the more trades you take, the more comfortable you will get with sitting in a trade. What you're suffering from, everyone has that. The only people who don't have that are people who don't have any concept of risk. There are some people who can sit in a bad trade for hours and blow up their house and they'll be okay with it. So Italian trader, believe it or not, you're getting that because you don't know what you're doing and you're actually being intelligent by going, "Oh, I don't know what I'm doing, I should get out." That's actually a capital saving thing, right? Right? So don't worry about that. We'll train you out of that. Sorry folks on YouTube, good morning here. How you doing? Terrence, welcome. South Africa. My girlfriend's from Pretoria. Cool. You're new to TPO? So, Terrence, what this is, the data on the right, this is like a map of a city. And then if we want to trade that area, this is the map of the neighborhood. Very simple, right? Very simple, right? When I say that there's a seller, it means that there are more than one and they're competing. And most probably it's an algo. Remember, the algo lone wolf is the automated trading for human beings, right? So it's not like Terminator where the algos just run the market, right? They still represent the business interests of a company. Get it? So the algo is programmed or it's self-programming or whatever the hell it is with AI now, I don't know. But the algo is there to make a business transaction more efficient. So when I say there's a seller, like here, right, you can see that there was a seller here, and you knew that they were going to be there when the market came up, right? They sold there before, they'll sell there again, right? So the algo just makes the process of trading more efficient, right? It allows you to sell more efficiently. That's all. That's really all algos do. There's nothing, right? They're like robots, right? You got robots in a factory. That's what algos are. There's really nothing magical about them. It's just that it's completely misunderstood because a lot of people who talk about algos don't really understand what's going on in the business. The algos just carry out business functions. That's all. So when I say there's sellers there, right? Yeah, that's what I've been saying. I don't think it's worth trading right now. I think just wait for a little bit. I mean, unless you want to hack away and make 2 ticks here, 3 ticks there, right? And this generally happens after a big move higher. The market has to digest it. It'll take some time. And it's the day before a Fed day. Nobody wants to put on risk. So no big deal, right? Higher lows, yeah, but no follow through, eh, Raj? Right? If you're studying and you want to understand how candles work, it's a great, you can always look and see how things are going, right? Figure things out, right? But to actually make money, you're not going to make much money tonight, right? It's pretty slim. I don't even have my trading account open yet. Which reminds me, you should go open it. Alrighty. Yeah, so Terrence, welcome to the stream. Sorry, I was just watching the room for a bit and I didn't see your questions. Yeah, so the TPO chart, all it is, it's a fancy half-hour candle chart that tells us where the inventory is, and it really quickly tells us where longs are trapped, shorts are trapped, that kind of thing, right? It's been used and it's been overcomplicated massively. Um, and what I try and do is I make TPO practical, right? So really quickly, it tells you where the inventory is priced, tells you where the shorts are trapped, tells you where the sellers are for a longer term player or participant. And then if you want to trade a certain area, we'll use the 1 minute chart to zero in so you can get some level of detail and manage your risk. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. What else, you guys? Good question, Italian trader. Good question. And you'll definitely, as you get more experience, it's going to be you'll be able to stay in trades longer. That's why, when I tell you to take that look below and fail, I say do it 1,000 times so you get an understanding for the subtleties of the trade. You get to understand how the order flow works. You know, you know how the trade changes over time, right? So that you're not kind of in the dark. It's just you're just putting in the reps. Well, we got a buyer. Got a buyer over 25. Oh, what did I forget? Gosh, you guys, this week you guys have been pretty sleepy. What did I forget? What's overnight inventory? It's short. Yeah. Overnight inventory is short. That's why you're getting this move higher. There you go. Okay. So overnight inventory is short. It's correcting higher, right? Probably 80% of the trading is underneath yesterday's close, right? That's why you're getting these bid, right? What happens is after you take a market and you gap it up the way we did yesterday, people will sit there and they'll try and buy as much as they can on the bid, right? They need to cover their shorts, right? And if they can't get covered on the bid, they'll start taking the offers, and this is exactly what's going on. So now position long is 76.17. It's being sold up here in the 20s. Your upper stops are 28, and then the overnight high is just up here in the 30s. And once again, 76.32, that's an area of interest, right? That's a big level for us. And that's pretty much it. It's a slow night in Walmart, folks. Slow night. Let's see if this buying has any sustainability to it over 25, or do we go back down? Don't be surprised if we go all the way back down to the 22s. Not a lot going on today. At this time, anyway. Well, I won't waste too much of your time if you don't have any questions. You guys okay? Folks in the room? You good? All righty. I'll cut it short today. Tomorrow I'm going to do a session at 11 again on some advanced trading things. But I also am going to lecture you guys tomorrow at 11 on what you're missing. And we're going to work on concentration and focus. So have a great morning. We'll see you at 9 o'clock for our next stream. It's a bit slow, so we usually go for an hour or so, but there's no point in me just sitting here watching this, right? There's nothing going on. Folks, come visit us at thetradingsyndicate.org if you want to learn how to trade. Also, if you want to learn when not to trade so you don't just endlessly lose money for no good reason like most of you are doing, right? If you're tired of losing money, if you're tired of just getting stopped out, if you want to understand how this all works, come join us at the Trading Syndicate. We are arguably the best room if you actually want to learn how to make a living, right? We'll teach you the common sense of this business. I'm JJM vwaptrader1 on X. And today we'll be putting out a new episode of Proper Villains, my new podcast, which is based on the book that I'm hopefully going to publish one day. And we'll be putting that out today. So look for that. Thanks, everyone. Have a wonderful day. We will see you at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Bye for now. Thank you.